So I've been trying to think about some of these cosmology problems, and I wanted to return to that wonderful line from Ferdinando Pessoa, where he says, "Nature is parts without a whole." I think that issue of could it be that nature is just parts but doesn't have a whole? Now, there's so many different ways that you could come at that there is this problem of the outer boundary of nature where we always get to the outside boundary and then we say, well, what's on the other side of that? And we always have this problem, both temporally and spatially. The what was before the Big Bang, as well as if the universe is infinitely expanding, what is that which isn't the universe into which it's expanding? I mean, there seems to be this problem of where is the whole? And then you think more about the whole, and it seems that consciousness itself inevitably turns those parts into a whole. Yeah, it's like the universe is holographic and that it isn't parts without a whole, it's parts with many different holes. Each person is like a gravitational center that takes the parts that are there but configures them and concretizes them into a particular set of relations. Yeah, the relations between things are as real as the things, and those sets of relations that come from a particular person, being a gravitational center, they ground all of those relations into a kind of a whole. And so it is interesting to ask this question of, is nature parts without a whole? Is nature parts with many holes? What do we mean by the whole of nature? Now, I'm again reminded of this line by Rumi where he says, maybe you always have been. I think we know, we come to believe that the universe did not simply begin with our birth. We say to ourselves, look, I know that there were dinosaurs, there were civilizations that preceded mine. I didn't invent my language. There's all kinds of reasons that I can give to show that the universe didn't begin with my birth, and yet the feeling of it, the utter feeling of it, is that it's like I never have not been, in that the world that is that set of relations came into being with my birth. Now, the material didn't, but the whole set of relations to which they all got aligned, those are, they're a whole that are the register of some person there grounding those relations in one particular way and not in any other way. I think there is, again, just a really interesting set of questions of, how, just as an example, when we draw that line between what came before us and what's just us, that's still just us drawing this line, right? No one has ever known anything but life. I've said in many videos that the knower and the known are two aspects of the same thing. I think, again, unfortunately, I think people hear it as a kind of idealism. They hear it as, I'm suggesting that we're always just stuck within our minds and we can't know anything other than our own minds. I could see how someone would get that, but the problem is that, no, we're actually the known. We are the known. We're the known. The known the known begins as the unknown creates the distance by which the knower emerges out in a reflexivity, and then the known becomes known only by releasing the knower. But we're the known, right? This is part of the argument about maps and territories. Some people say the map is not the territory, and the next thing you know, some people are saying, yeah, it's all just maps. No, it's all just territory. It's all just territory. What we call maps or what we call mind, this is part of the way that the territory self-reflexively relates to itself. The question is, how does nature gain a whole? Could nature have a whole without consciousness? Thanks.